in our lifetime.
I like dogs a lot, but I like cats better, because cats are quiet and take care of themselves, and dogs stomp on your rug and have to be trained, and that's just because that's what I've always run into with dogs. Chewing everything and messing everything up, and it's just awful. But I still don't hate them because I like all animals. But cats are best. And birds, if they're not caged, so they can fly and be free. And that's because it's terrible to cage anything up. I mean, how would you like to be caged up and not be able to mess around and be a person or anything? Like, animals can't be animals if they're not in this home. Like on this desert, or in this jungle someplace, and so it's terrible not to be free. Like these people you see sometimes, behind wire fences, without proper food or nutrition, and they shrivel up, and they look like little reeds, and they have fear in their eyes. And like you can't see something like that without thinking about how we've got it made, how we shouldn't be so mellowed out about the world and so much into ourselves, and not only care about things like cute clothes and making out and pizza. And it's all too much of a downer to think about. So I don't even know why I brought it up, when all I wanted to say was cats are cool.
Cats are loyal, too. You can't really say the same thing about boys. At least I can't. Take Jerome, for example. Oh, he's friendly enough, but I don't think it means anything. He's nice because he wants to copy my English homework. That's all. He comes into class early, copies my notes almost every day. If he wasn't so darn cute, I'd tell him to go out and prune. I know I'm being used. I know that, but who knows? Maybe someday he'll ask me out. Being smart is all right, but it can also have its drawbacks because often your knowledge intimidates people, especially boys. Jerome appears intelligent and he's very funny, but I don't think he cares if I live or die. You know, plain, serious, on the honor roll. And being on the honor roll is this big negative because automatically people brand you as a intellectual. And intellectual means dud. I know I'm super shy. I've always known that. That's the reason I got into books. I found escape in them. It was a way of insulating myself. I've always been self-conscious and had trouble making small talk. Especially with boys. Around them, I'm invariably tongue-tied and afraid. It's always a very traumatic experience. People who have it easy with others have it made. I know I'm a much richer person because of my books and my studies, but sometimes I feel poor in the heart.
Meeting new people, making new friends, isn't easy. Not for me anyhow, it never has been. I've never been like this outgoing person who just walk in and start talking. Some kids can, and envious of them. They're lucky. Coming here, cold from Detroit, moving to this new town, is murder. It's like I'm from outer space or something. Back home, kids are friendly. Here, cold. Unless you've been through it, you have no idea how hard it is for a kid to be changed from one city to another. It's a killer. One day you're in comfortable surroundings, and the next you wake up in the jungle with everything foreign and strange. And no friends. That's the worst part about it. No friends. I've discussed it with my parents, but they don't seem to understand. They expect you just pick up and keep on going as usual. Easy for them maybe, because they're working at adult level. where there's a lot more diplomacy. But what they don't understand is that girls usually say what's on their minds. And sometimes what's on their minds is that they think you're a loser. So they'll say so and laugh, and then other girls start picking up on it too. And they start laughing. And soon everyone thinks you're a fool without knowing anything about you. You'd like to say, hey, creeps, give me a chance. But you don't, because you don't want to alienate them. You just want to be accepted. So you take your taunting and pretend it doesn't hurt. But it does.
As you may have observed, we have an endless supply of energy, an enviable characteristic to those of you who are trying to make it in a fast lane. Perhaps you think we're immoral because we steal a cookie or a candy bar every once in a while. But life is full of all sorts of sweets, and right now, instant gratification means total gratification. Believe it or not, children do have reasons for their actions. You see, what we love most is your undivided attention. And if you fail to notice us, we simply respond by making sure you're aware we're here. So all we really want you to do when we start food fights at your dinner parties, pour Wesson oil on your rugs, and draw with magic marker on the furniture, is to say, "Oh, hello, Colleen. I'm sorry I didn't see you there until you were forced by my goldfish in the freezer. Would you care for a drink?" To which I would civilly reply, "Yes, thank you. I've heard you mix an excellent glass of Kool-Aid." You see, we're not very different from you at all.
Hey, how's it going? Hi. Getting Head Start on homework?
it done before Jeff's party tonight. You are going, aren't you?
As a matter of fact, no. I wasn't invited.
Mom, is that all? You don't need to be invited. You just come. I mean, anyone who knows Jeff can come.
I used to know Jeff, but I don't anymore. He's changed. Everybody's changed. I don't feel like I know anyone anymore.
Well, really, if you just hung out with us or, you know, be on the volleyball team or whatever, you would know us better.
I don't know if I want to know you, though. Not you in particular, but the kids here. They're all so mean to each other, so disloyal, you know? I don't want my friends to get their only pleasure in life by knifing each other in the back.
You're making it sound a lot worse than it is. Besides, isn't it worth any of that stuff to have friends? Are you ever alone? Aren't you ever unhappy?
Aren't you ever unhappy knowing that you can't trust your friends? Knowing that they say mean stuff about you when you're not around?
Well, nobody's life is a primrose path. I guess everybody's, but for some, I guess you have to decide which way you're going to suffer.
Hadn't you better start your homework now? I mean, if you're going to get to that party tonight.
Right. Sure you don't want to go?
Are you sure you want to go?
Well, I did. I said before, you're making it sound a lot worse than it is.
And you're making it sound like it's not as bad as it is. Things aren't so cut and dry like they were when we were kids. Life suddenly got complicated, didn't it?